Welcome back to another Creative Collective podcast. My name is JB. This is my partner Cody, and today we have a seasoned vet in the wedding industry, Mr. Ryan Daniels. Tell us a little bit more about yourself for the people that don't know you yet. Who are you, and what do you shoot today?
Cool, man. How y'all doing? I'm Ryan. I do videography Atlanta. A little bit about myself, of course. Come from the music industry. Started back in, I'm a little old. I don't want to date myself, but 2015, 16 is really when I got into the video production side of things. I actually went to school for audio engineering and sound design. Actually interned at a few studios, Tree Sound Studios, couple of studios, Patchwork. Was doing, a lot of music stuff, and bro, it wasn't paying no money, bro. Honestly, it wasn't paying, and I ended up, I did have a media production class in school, but
Yeah.
really didn't pursue that. So ended up getting my first camera, bro. It was a Nikon 100. It was my first camera that I got, and I started with that. Started doing, $150, $200 music videos for a while, and that got old real quick. So ended up getting my first wedding, bro, and at the time. I got paid $500 for this wedding, and I was like, "Wow, this is a lot of money. I can make this off of weddings." Like, cool. So but fast forward, I definitely just, built the appreciation for weddings and really just started, looking at weddings a little different than just, making some money. Me and my wife, of course, we got married 14 years ago. We did not hire a wedding videographer. We had a bootleg photographer,
Yeah.
and our wedding sucked. It was terrible. It was like,
Oh,
bro,
dang.
it's got to be better than this. So with that, I really just branched off into doing weddings, and from that one first wedding that we booked, I started getting referrals, and they loved it. I look back at that wedding, I'm like, bro, that was terrible. Like, oh my God, it sounds like the worst wedding ever
Yeah.
shot. But they loved it, and we just started getting business from there, and ended up, you know, going full time with it right around when COVID hit. 2020, I just stepped out on faith. I was in the corporate world for a while and thought I was gonna die the next day. So I was like, "Look, Lord, if I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die doing what I love and doing, the things that I like to do." So, and we just kind of took off from there.
Okay. Okay. So obviously
Yeah,
from the title and name of your business, you're Atlanta based. So what part of
right.
the city raised you and what made you stay?
Oh man, so I'm an ATLian, like for real, for real. Like, I was born at North Side. I grew up in Southwest Atlanta,
Yeah.
over in Campbellton Road on the west side, and we I basically went to school over there all the way up through high school. Like towards my end years of high school is when we started moving, a little bit further up north, like Sandy Springs, North Springs, and then gradually went over into the Gwinnett area, and I pretty much just been back and forth from Gwinnett to Atlanta ever since.
So
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
man said I had to get away from where I was from.
Man, had to. So,
At all
hey,
times.
bro, I was not. I almost was a product of my environment, bro.
Yeah.
I was, man. God really, really looked out for me and saved me from a lot of things, because I was out there, bro. I was out there for real.
All right. So tell us a little bit more about what your company means to you. I do videography versus when you first started.
When I first started, it was more of a hobby thing, and I really didn't see the full potential of it. And believe it or not, my wife Amber, she actually came up with that name, and we just ran with it. So at first it was like, I don't know, maybe this can do something, and I didn't really see the value of it until God showed me that like this can take you places that you never imagined. Like before, like when I left my job, like I was telling JB before, like the 2020 when I left my job, I was making good money. I was in the car, of course, car dealership world, whatever. But when I left my job and I went full throttle with it, I mean, this thing took me to Costa Rica, it took me to Dominican Republic, took me to Jamaica doing weddings, and I was like, wow, like, bro, I barely left Atlanta, you know what I mean? So for it to take me
Yeah.
to so many places, like, man, it's just, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Definitely.
It
it's
was
an eye
amazing.
opener when you see progress, and
Yeah.
you see some of the things work that you
Yeah,
it
it does,
Okay.
it does, and that really made me just, like, really take it seriously, like, wow, just the camera alone, like, the camera alone, it really just changed my life and opened up so many doors that I couldn't even have done without it, so,
exactly.
No,
yeah.
I definitely agree with that. That happens to a lot of us. We get in the field and we figure out that this can be a lot more than we ever once thought it could be. So that's dope.
Right,
So,
right.
so take us back. You said you quit at the dealership. Take us back to what life was like at the dealership before you quit.
Bro, mentally, like, like, I was a service advisor, so, of course, I'm the guy that you bring your car to and yell
Yeah.
at if warranty don't cover it,
My
basically.
God.
So that's me. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
So mentally, bro, I was literally dealing with 50 to 100 people a day, and I would say 75% of those people were not happy with, their product. I ain't gonna name the product on the
Uh-oh,
podcast,
uh-oh. Go
but
ahead, tell us what
listen.
we need to stay away from.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But anyway, they weren't happy with the product, and something was always going on. Something was always, going wrong. I thank God for that job. I did it for almost 8, 9 years, and it really taught me a lot. Like, I was a straight commission based. It taught me how to grind. It taught me how to, it taught me sales. It taught me how to, talk to people and deal with different personalities. And a lot of those things that I learned in that business, I've converted over to my own personal business. And I just remember how I used to have to deal with certain personalities and certain people in different situations. But it came to a point where it was affecting my health mentally and physically, to where I was so stressed out, so drained. I mean, I was probably working 10, 12 plus hours a day, and I was just so drained mentally, and it really started affecting my relationship with my wife, one, my kids, and I just came to a point. I'm like, God, this ain't. I'm making good money. Oh, the money was off the chain. Ain't the money was good. That's one thing I cannot complain about. But
Yeah,
just my mental, my health, everything that was going on was like, bro, I can't do this anymore
that's crazy.
at all, at all, at all.
So let's fast forward. So you walked away from your job. You
Uh
said you
huh.
was making roughly about 120, 150K a year.
Yeah,
What did
yeah.
your family think?
They was scared. They was like, "Bro, you tripping." And one thing I would say, my family was saying that, but my wife, the way she supported me in the whole thing was like, it was just, so much support from her end because, of course, she comes from an entrepreneurial background. So I mean, she was down. She was like, "Look, I believe in you. We can do it. I'm scared." She was telling me how she feel. Yes, I'm scared, but at the same time, we gonna trust God together. We gonna pray. We gonna work hard together. And she was a huge part of the early success because, of course, we was a husband and wife team. So everything with I do videography, we did together. As far as when we did weddings together, we did consultations, everything we did together to really build up to this point. Yeah,
Wow.
bro. So she a one of a kind, bro. I would tell people, like, if it weren't for my wife, and that's just that situation. I don't even want to talk about all the other situations that she
Mhm.
helped me through. But just having a good woman, by my side just really, really, really helped me get to where I am.
So jumping back in, I know you said it was kind of like your family was like, "Are you nuts?" Walking away from that kind of money. And so I just want to know, did you have like some sort of a plan when you walked away, or you was just like, I'm gonna jump in and just whatever happens, we're gonna run with it."
Well, while I was working my corporate job, we were always, doing little weddings here and there. I guess we went from doing 5 to 10 weddings a year to when I switched full time, it's like 30, 40 weddings a year. But I did not have a plan. I really just looked at my bank account and was like, how much money do I have to survive? Or how many months can I survive without having to go back
Yeah.
to work? So I kind of just looked at that, and I literally, bro, when I pulled out of the parking lot of my job, I literally sat there at the exit and literally tears just started rolling down my face. And I just talked to God, and I'm like, God, guide my steps and tell me what I need to do to make it. Because I wasn't going back. Of course, I left my job before and tried it before. and it didn't work. And it was just something about this time that I did it. I was like, God, you in control this time. Like, I don't trust nobody but you. I know you're gonna provide for me. I know you're gonna provide for my family. And literally tears just rolled down my face because I know I wasn't going back. I was like, whatever happens, I'm not going back. And that was really just my plan, is just trust God. And then from there, it was history.
Right.
Yeah. And I
So
really,
so wait, you tried to leave twice.
yeah, oh no, multiple times. Multiple.
So every time you try to leave, they're like, "Welcome back."
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It didn't work, huh? You
It
need
didn't
us.
it didn't work at all, and of course, anytime I left, of course, I left on good terms and really gave him them I always gave more than a 2-week notice. I always talked to my boss, 'cause me and my boss is, like, super cool. We still cool to this day, and I told her, I'm like, "I want something more. There's something inside of me that's not being fulfilled, and it's starting to show through my work, and I'm just not happy anymore." And she understood, and we'll talk to it, and I tell her, like, in the next 3 months, I'm probably gonna be getting out of here. So I'll give him like a few months to just let him know, like, look, and she'll look at me, she's like, "Oh, Ryan, I understand. You're probably gonna change your mind, basically."
Yeah. Hell no.
And nah, exactly, exactly, exactly. So, because I've never been out on my own like full time. I've always had jobs since I was like, bro, 13, 14, 15 years old. I was always so used to just having that consistency and that security, so to speak. Oh, just jumping out by myself, bro, it was one of the scariest things that I've ever done. And even, it's been, 5, 6 years, and I still get that, like, oh man, that uncertainty. I don't know if, is this gonna get booked? This gonna get, but it just brings me back closer to God, and it's just God just says, trust me, I'm gonna provide for you and take care of you and your family, and you have nothing to worry about. Just put me first, and that's it.
Yeah. So for
Yeah.
someone that's scared to better themselves, what would you tell them?
It's never a perfect time. Like, a lot of people, and this was me for a long time, a lot of people say, okay, well, I'm gonna make this leap when I got this together, and I got this together, but there's never a perfect time to take a leap of faith, and that's why it's a leap of faith, and faith is the unseen and uncertainty. So I would just tell them, like, don't be scared, just do it and try. Like, the worst thing is you not knowing what could have been, but now that it's just no, it's no going back. So it's never a perfect time.
No, I
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally agree with that. That's facts right there. You never gonna
They
be
got it
ready.
up there right there. Don't wait for the perfect time. You'll be
Nah,
Yep.
waiting you'll be waiting your whole life for a perfect time.
I'm telling you, because if I waited, I wouldn't be here talking with y'all right now.
Exactly.
Yep. So let's talk a little bit about your first year success and then moving on into what actually it looked like in your second year reality. So let's talk
Okay.
about the first year you traveled for weddings to like Jamaica, Costa Rica, the Dominican Republic. How did that
Yeah.
even come about? How did you get that connection and how did that happen?
Bro, it came out of nowhere. I think the Dominican Republic, so this is the first year, and I would say, of course, we search for different mentors or guidance to really help our business and stuff. So I definitely, was doing some research as far as marketing and trying to get our business out there. But believe it or not, Dominican Republic, he found us on Instagram, and this guy Marvin, he reached out, and I may have posted something or posted an ad or something, and that one actually just started from a DM, and we were just getting back and forth, and we finally got on the Zoom call, and we hit it off, and it was like last minute too. So his wedding was literally in like the next 2 or 3 months, and he was like, "Bro, I see what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Can we make this happen?" And we just made it happen. So that was that one. The Jamaica one actually ended up coming from a referral from a longtime friend that we were, close with, and she ended up taking us over there. That was amazing. Man, I'm trying to think of where Costa Rica. A lot of it came from just either referrals or social media promotion and just posting, because I used to just post all the time. I
Yeah.
post reels and everything, and of course back then it was a lot easier. The algorithm was on our side back then, 2020, 2021. Not
Yeah,
like it is now. We gotta pray that our posts go somewhere now. But back then the algorithm was definitely on our side. So the more that you posted, the more people came about
yeah.
and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Now, before we go a little bit off topic, because it's so fun that you bring up the algorithm thing, because so
Right.
many people are banking on social media to help them out. I know I'm going a little bit off chart here, but how did you stay at float when it came to the algorithm changing and giving you a lower amount of views? That way, you're not really seeing that many people watching your videos. You don't see yourself seeing access to other people. How are you dealing with that?
I think the main thing that saved us, because from the beginning, I was big on relationships, and that's one thing I learned from my previous job is keeping those relationships. Like you never know who you're gonna need in the future. So you don't want to burn bridges, and you always want to try to keep your relationships as strong as possible. Once that started happening with the algorithm and all that good stuff, and our views start going down, inquiries start going down. Our relationships is what saved us. I mean, from planners, like planners looking out. Even we was getting referrals from some DJs, because when I go to weddings, everybody is a client, not just my client that hired me. I'm shooting for the planner, I'm shooting for the DJ, I'm shooting for the cake lady. You know what I mean? I'm always, gonna give them little clips here and there just to build that rapport and build that relationship with them. So I just feel like that was one of the big things that saved us and kind of staying on top. So yeah, as far as any marketing advice on how to get around, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything as far as the algorithm and all that good stuff. And I'm wondering, like, before all this social media stuff, like, how were they being successful? You know what I mean? So you got to kind of think on that standpoint because this may not always be here. So that always brings it back to relationships and staying in good with people and doing good work. You got to have good work. You can't be out here, it can't be putting out trash and expecting people to call you
But yeah.
back. So you definitely got to
Right,
have
I'm
good work
glad you
as well.
said that for the people all the way in the back.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, yeah, because bad work don't get you nowhere. So you definitely got to have some good work.
Now, I like that you said the relationships and people because we never know when these platforms, whatever platform you use, is going to shut down. So to totally
Yeah,
bank on the fact that you may have that in your back pocket always as an advertisement plan is really not viable for your business. So that's a good
not
point.
at all,
Build those
not at all,
relationships for sure. And
not
so
at all.
brings me to my next question. What was your hardest month that you've had so far in this business and how did you survive it?
As far as month, let me think. I guess I'll just say last year, the hardest month, and I guess it was a good hard, but one month I booked, I would say two, I think it might have been three, but two or three multiple wedding days. So I literally had multiple weddings on the same day in a month, if you kind of understand what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So doing that, and I don't regret that I did that, but that was one of the hardest things because of course we offer team packages. So, if you can't book me, then I can send a team out to you and, whatever like that. So doing that is stressful because you're at the mercy of your team performing to make sure the quality of service stays up to par. So that was one of the most stressful things that I had to come through in a month, which I made, which was cool. But I don't know. I don't know. That kind of made me have a different outlook on doing that. Of course, I want to scale, but with weddings, it's just so different because the couples are. It's not like sending them out to a corporate event or birthday party or something like that. With weddings, brides always hold you to a certain standard because this is the one day that like you can't get back. So have trusting that team and trusting those people to go out and do that wedding and delivering what I know I can deliver is one of the hard things. So that whole month was just I was pulling my hair out, finding the right team, make sure people was gonna be there. I'm actually shooting a wedding while another wedding is going on. I'm thinking about the other wedding at this wedding. It's just was a bunch of craziness going on. So I'm definitely gonna revamp that
Yeah.
angle
Yeah, eh,
of doing that.
do you think all of that summarizes the statement that you said on the pre-pod where you was like, "If you wanna get closer to God, become an entrepreneur?"
Yes, absolutely.
And
That's
so
it.
break that down. Break that down.
That's it. That's it. If you want to get closer to God, become an entrepreneur, bro. Like seriously, it's like all facts because it's the unknown and it's the uncertainty in everything. Like every day is uncertain. You don't know one, who's gonna book today, two, where what everything is just scrambled. Supposed to having a regular 9 to 5. Of course, you waking up at 7, you gotta be to work at 8. You can clock in, blah, 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 you getting off. Entrepreneurship is different. Like you can be up 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Like it's true when they say you quit your 9 to 5 to work 24/7. Like it's so true.
No,
But
that's
just
that's
having that
facts.
having that balance to to balance life, balance your kids, the wife. You gotta work, you gotta put on all these different hats. And that's one of the mistakes that I made earlier on is just trying to wear too many hats at once because you can crash out like super early doing that in your business. So you gotta be able to trust somebody. So whether in the wedding industry, whether you're hiring an editor, whether you're hiring, second shooters or whatever the case may be, even hiring someone to do the consultations with your couples. You have to trust somebody because putting on too many hats will make you crash out super early. And this was happening to me, I guess, in about third year that I was like, bro, I'm tired. I can't like I'm shooting, I'm editing, I'm marketing, I'm doing content, I'm doing all this at once. And I was ready to crash out, but just delegating those things to different people in different areas. And now we're in the era of AI that can, handle a lot of the automated emails and stuff like that. Oh, that definitely helps out a lot too.
No, you're absolutely right about that, and I'm glad you
Yeah.
said we're in the era of AI because my next question is something that I love, which is about systems. Because I always say just a little preface about it is systems you cannot scale without them. So if you don't have a system, there is no scalability in your business. So,
And that's true.
uh,
That's true.
my question to that would be, what systems did you build after year 2 so you weren't just depending on luck anymore?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's so many. The main system, of course, when you're entrepreneur, you get software like Honeybook or whatever that just handles, a lot of your automated emails and things like that. Now, now I'm pretty much with um, I'm on Dubsado, which handles it does the same thing as Honeybook, but I do like the layout a little bit better. But it does handle automated emails, inquiries, automated responses, and all that good stuff. So that system in itself on the admin side helps out a lot. As far as the systems on the videography side and the photography side is just preparation and just preparing for shots and shot lists, knowing what I'm doing before I go to a wedding and knowing what shots we're gonna get and showing up early, setting up early, always communicating with the planner and everything. Not going in blind is the biggest system that I always try to implement. Get as much information early on before any project, before we start shooting pretty much anything is just one of the things I definitely implement. Yeah,
That's cool because systems are important, man. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of people get ate up due to the fact that they don't even know what that is.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So if you wanted to explain how to get wedding gigs or gigs in general, what do you think a formula would be?
The portfolio is the biggest thing. So when I started off, and a lot of some videographers and some photographers, of course, they frown upon doing free work, but you have to. I think it was Russell Simmons. I think he said you have to give yourself away enough until somebody wants you, basically. I can't think of the exact quote, but give yourself away enough until they can't live without your services. And that's when you get to that point. But building a portfolio, like people, the first thing brides do, and of course, we're in the age of social media now. It's like people don't even ask for a website no more. Sometimes I feel like I'm paying for my website for nothing because they always be like, what's your IG? What's your Instagram? But building that portfolio first, whether you have to do reduced work as far as price or free work, and really just building up a good enough portfolio and that will, eventually land you clients. One of the things I did earlier on, I joined over 100 something Facebook groups. I was a part of like over 100 Facebook groups, and I was constantly posting in those groups, hey, looking for a bride, whatever. I want to build my portfolio. I'll come out and shoot your wedding for a couple hours. If you're interested, DM me. It's just something like that.
Yeah.
But of course, I'll try to make sure it's a nice enough venue or something decent enough. Of course, you don't want to go to mom's community center and shoot a wedding and then put that in your portfolio, but you want to have something nice enough that you can present,
Gotcha.
and that would definitely help you get your first client for sure.
Okay, so this is actually
Yeah.
something in our personal business that we're doing right now is trying to get reviews from different people and figuring out different ways on how to ask without it being, so awkward or making it feel like you're just trying to use them as some kind of a testimony. So tell us, how do you ask
Yeah.
these couples for reviews without it being awkward?
Man, I'm the pro at that. I don't start off asking for a
Yeah.
review for myself. I
Yeah.
always do it for the planner. I say, hey, of course, after the reception, maybe a little downtime. They're excited. They got a couple of drinks in their system. Hey, do you mind? And I make sure, because I've had some couples not happy with the planner or decorator or designer or whatever. I always say, hey, they did such a great job with your decor. Can you please, I want to surprise them with a shout out video. So do you mind just giving us a quick review about the planner or decor or whatever? Like, oh yeah, they did amazing. Okay, I'll do it. After they do that, I'll be like, okay, well, real quick, how did I do? Do you mind doing one for me? Oh, you did amazing, Ryan. Of course we'll do one. So I kind of segue that into getting one for me, and of course the one I get for the planner, I send to them as well. And that basically just builds a relationship. Like, oh wow, Ryan, you got a review, cool. So that's my secret sauce right there.
Yeah. So that's my secret sauce. That's
Yeah,
I
that's
like that.
crazy. They might got the crusty crab over there.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
Do you
absolutely.
think
So
Google reviews are more valuable than Instagram followers? If so, if you even think both of them are valuable, tell us why.
yeah, Google reviews, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they both have their perks. Google reviews, of course, the more reviews that you have, the higher you're going to be in the search engine, SEO engine, as far as wedding videographer, the higher you rank, higher
Yeah.
you are on the list. So
Yeah.
that's absolutely important, because I've gotten quite a few inquiries, just random inquiries that say, because a lot of people don't even have social media. They just like, I found you on Google. And as far as the followers on Instagram, it looks good, but it's not, it's not credible these days. You can buy followers, you can buy blue check, you can make yourself look however important as you want on Instagram by just spending a couple dollars. So it's not as credible as it used to be, back in the day. So I would say Google tops Instagram in
Yeah.
that aspect, because
Okay.
I see people all the time. You got 50, 60,000 followers, you only got 10 likes on your post. That's how I know you bought followers. Yeah. Yeah.
Just said a gym.
Hey, did you wait, hold on now. Did you just attack somebody?
No, no, no. I'm just saying, hey, it's out there. I personally look at that. I'm like, okay, cool. You got, if I'm want to collab with somebody and you're posing as this guru in something, and you're posing as this guru and you got all these followers, but then I go to your post likes and you only got 10, 20 likes, you
Oh,
don't have real followers. It's just
wow.
it's the fact.
So you don't think it's an algorithm thing, or you thinking we straight up buying followers out here?
We buying followers out here. It's
Wow.
algorithm. If you have followers and you got real followers and people that really, support you and do, are with you,
Yeah.
they're gonna like your stuff.
Gonna
They're
engage.
gonna
That's your
they're gonna
community.
engage. They're gonna engage, reshare it, or whatever the case may be. But you got all these ghost follow people, over in Pakistan.
With zero
Yeah,
followers. I
no
mean, a
Yeah,
hundred
profile
followers.
picture.
right.
100 followers, zero following.
Right,
Yep.
absolutely, absolutely. So that's why I'm like, man, Instagram ain't as credible as it used to be, because anybody can buy a good profile. So
Crazy work. That's what we
So
yeah,
doing out
it's
here.
it
crazy.
sounds like
That's what
people
we
can
doing, bro.
scam us. Sound like people can scam us out here with their profiles. So that might not be a
They
credible
can.
source with the following count. So tell us, since the followers might not be a credible source, tell us what does make someone safe to want to collaborate with, in your opinion.
Reviews are big with me. Just word of mouth. Just getting other because I can tell you I'm the best all day, but just really hearing it from somebody else and having that report and reviews, that gives me enough, like, okay, this guy's legit. He's, he knows what he's doing. And yeah, I mean, you can tell the real from the fake, bro. You can
Yeah.
you can tell
Nah,
the real from the
It's
that's
like
fake.
it's
fact.
like a T-shirt that say fake and real on it, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they
absolutely.
don't even know that
Absolutely.
they're wearing it.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
So since we're on the conversation about community and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I know we talked about gatekeeping and we had our own thoughts on it. What are they really scared of? Is it competition? Is it reputation? What do you think people are scared of when it comes to either gatekeeping or collaborating? Let's hear it.
I feel like some, I guess in my industry, some videographers or photographers may feel like they're at a higher level, which they may well be, feel like they're at a higher level than the person that's trying to collaborate with them. So they feel like it's not worth their time unless, a lot of money is involved, per se. I see it all the time. It's like, I'll give you an example. Like, you see the photo booth behind me. So I saw a photographer that had a photo booth that I was like, wow, that's amazing, and I worked with this photographer several times, and I was like, hey, where did you get that photo booth from? Just message him. Bro, when I say left on red,
Wow.
left on red.
You're not finna get a photo booth like me, man. You better watch out. I
Yeah,
know they make a
You better
thousand
go
of
find
these,
your
but you're
own
not
photo
getting one.
booth.
absolutely, man. So I was like, wow, and that's just one example, but the era of us helping each other is becoming extinct because I see it every now and then. It's rare, but if I'm a photographer and I have a camera and I'm not shooting something right, but I have an experienced photographer right next to me that knows I'm not shooting something right, I feel like the humane thing to do and the good person thing to do is like, hey man, I see you got a camera, but you're not doing this right. Let me show you how this is supposed to do. I don't see a lot of that anymore. It's like people want to see you fail. Yeah, they want to see you fall. Like they feel I'm like, bro, that's not, that's not cool. But
Yeah, the more people follow, the more I don't gotta worry about you.
right,
That's how they
right,
see it.
right, right. And I guess they feel like um either it's not enough work going around or it's not enough people to get money, but I feel like it shows insecurity in their own work
It does.
because I've worked with a photographer and oh my gosh, I'm having flashbacks. Now we're at the Chateau Lawn and we're doing a wedding, and this girl was just, she was just so, hey, I gotta get this, I gotta get that, and basically just trying to block me out of everything. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, you're not confident in your work. You're not confident in what you're doing because if you're trying to get all these shots. You want to make sure that you got at least one shot that
Exactly.
looks good. So when I see photographers and videographers like that that don't want to collaborate, don't want to share information or whatever the case may be, they're not confident in their own self and in their own work. And that's pretty much how I feel about that. It sucks. Y'all need to get it together out there, man. I'm gonna start calling y'all out on these
There you
podcasts.
go.
No, I totally agree with that. We seeing less and less collaboration out here every single day. I've been using that word and not just as a buzzword, but as a meaning since I started this film and stuff because I knew that you can't do this alone. Every part of this aspect of this is a team. No matter
Yeah.
how you want to say it, if you want to call your company by your business name, by your last name, whatever you want to do, it don't matter. It's still a team. That's just how that goes. But what do you say the
Yeah.
difference is? Because I think the problem, a lot of us out here like to think that we're using each other and we're not actually collaborating. So tell us the difference between real collaboration and using someone.
Well, like I was talking to JB earlier, I guess I would use you two as an official collaboration because a collaboration is where two or more people have the same idea, the same goal, and they see the end result. They know what the end result is going to be. And that to me is a real collaboration. Like we're all working towards one goal to make this one product, whether it be film, podcast, show, whatever the case may be. That to me is a real collaboration. But then you get those those guys come shoot this for me and you really don't get any credit. You don't get, you come shoot the project for them but it's just their vision, and they want to basically be the main name of everything. You know what I mean? Like if I was to write a song for you, you go sing the song, perform the song, sell the song, but I don't get any credit for it. It's kind of
Exactly.
like that type of situation. So that's the difference, man. And it's like it's so hard and it's rare to really find people to collaborate on a project and not want any type of gain for just themselves or any monetary gain. And a lot of collaborations don't even happen unless money's involved in
Yeah,
some kind of
exactly.
way, especially these days. So it sucks, man.
So is the creative industry an actual community, or is just a whole bunch of individuals with cameras? If you was to summarize it, what would you choose?
I would say right now it's a whole bunch of individuals with cameras
Oh
that
man,
want to be better than the next man. And it's terrible because I mean you see it, you just see it on social media. It's like it's almost like a competition, man. It's like some do support others. There's some good people out there. Don't get me wrong.
yeah, yeah.
We're all not bad. I'm one of them. I try to make it a point if I see a photographer that I know that does good work, I'm gonna support him. I may even put it on my story. If he gets a booking from me, put it on my story. Great. I feel good from that, you know. But you have a lot of photographers and videographers is just like I'm the best,
I'm the
and
best.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna support this person or promote this person any more than I'm gonna promote myself. So it's bad. We're in a bad time, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. We're in a
No,
You have the whole
I couldn't
reflection
agree more
moment.
with you.
You know, it,
Couldn't agree more with you. We talked to a lot of people, and we've heard a lot of things. So, and we've seen a lot of things. I mean, I've been in the industry now for like 6 years professionally, and
yeah,
it's
nice.
just it's a lot. It's a lot. But hopefully, we can get back and get away from just being a bunch of people with cameras and building that true community again. That's what
Yeah,
we're hoping
yeah,
for.
absolutely.
So let's talk a little
Absolutely.
bit about the gear and your identity that you've used as far as Nikon, because I know you say you're a Nikon user, and I've been
Man.
waiting to jump on this podcast to ask you this question because I think this is just hilarious. So you say you've been Nikon since day one, D
So
thirty
I've
three
been
hundred.
Nikon, bro. I've been Nikon since day one. I haven't
Now a
shot
D
with
thirty
any
three
other camera.
hundred wedding, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, bro. That's like the entry level. That's like on Canon. That's like a T7 Rebel.
Yeah, yeah,
If you wanted to compare,
yeah.
but
So
and it
what
was
did
nice
that
too.
era teach you?
So I didn't really know back then. I didn't know nothing about. I've seen log and shooting raw, but I was just like I'm kind of scared of it. I didn't really want to go into all that. But yeah. So that first wedding, and it was crazy. We did photo and video for that wedding actually. It was terrible. It was bad. It was bad. But Nikon, I don't know. I that was the first camera I ever used. I fell in love with it. I just liked the way it handled all that good stuff. Of course, you know, I'm hearing about Sony, Canon, Panasonic, all these other cameras. And I was like, nah, bro, I just like the Nikon.
yeah.
So doing video with Nikon back then was definitely diabolical.
Hmm.
Doing it back then with video. But then I graduated, of course, you know, I upgraded my cameras. The last camera, of course, I did the Z6 II or whatnot. And I was able to shoot analog with that with a Ninja V Atomus and everything. So that's when I kind of switched over to doing log and everything. I don't know, man. I just embedded Nikon in my heart. I was just like, bro, I was thinking about switching to Sony, but I already had accumulated so many Nikon lenses. I was like, bro, I'm not buying these lenses over again. Not
Now I
thinking
feel
about
that.
any adapters or anything, but I'm like, bro, I'm not about to buy all this stuff again. So stuck with Nikon and ended up getting a lot better with it. And once now I'm on Z6 IIIs now, and I recently like I would say mid last year, right when they came out, I ended up buying like three Z6 IIIs. I got rid of my other cameras, bought three of those, and they've been amazing. And then Nikon released the ZR, and I'm like, bro, I just bought these cameras. I really wanted the ZR, so I am gonna eventually upgrade to that too. So, but I'm team Nikon all the way, man. With video, photo, everything. I feel like Birdman. I'm gonna say y'all gonna put some respect on Nikon's name. I'm telling you, I ain't gonna
My
say it no more.
So you almost switched to Sony. You almost switched to Sony. We almost got you. Why you stopped?
Yeah. Well, it was just I had shot with Sony. A couple of my partners, of course, they had the A7 III, and I actually had a chance. I shot with a couple of FX threes, and one of my boys actually had an FX6 that was pretty cool too. So I like it, but it's just that one was the learning curve.
Yeah.
And they say Nikon is actually more difficult to shoot with than Sony, but one didn't want to because this is the transition period. Like I got this business going on. I'm not gonna try learn a new camera, and I got a wedding next week. You know what I mean? So it was just one of those things where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We getting booked. We're good. We
You
got
like the
like
work?
30. We got like 30, 40 weddings this year. They like what they see. I'm not gonna switch it up on them. So that's kind of what made me just stay with Nikon for sure.
What's up?
Yeah,
Oh,
man. Yeah. I think I might be, I don't want to say the only Nikon wedding videographer. I think Justin Porter was doing Nikon for a minute
yeah.
on
Yeah.
with his weddings, his reality TV show
Yeah. Yeah.
things. And
Well,
then I
you
think,
know, Nikon caught up a lot, man. After they collab with
yeah,
Red, it's pretty much up and stuck now.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But I need Nikon to know if y'all see this. I've been with y'all through the trenches, bro. I need an ambassadorship, whatever, because I've stuck with y'all, bro. For
So
real.
Okay.
if they was to present you with an opportunity, what would you present?
Man, if Nikon present me with an opportunity,
Yeah.
man, I be doing product reviews. I can do product reviews. I get bride reviews about the quality of the product, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The
Okay.
sky's the limit. The sky's the limit.
So let's talk a little bit and move on into the transition season and talk about building a team to shoot so you
Hmm.
don't have to shoot for yourself and shooting for yourself. You said you
Yeah,
still want to create, but more for yourself, like I said. So what does that look like now that you want to move into create more for yourself?
yeah. So over the years, bro, after shooting so many weddings, it's taxing on the body, and I ain't getting no, I'm not getting no younger. So of course, I want to eventually build a team. And I got a couple of people, probably like a nice handful of people that I already work with. But scaling, like you really want to be able to, because I have passion projects on myself that I want to work on. Like I want to be an independent filmmaker. I want to do actual films, positive films and just films in general, not just wedding films. So I want to be able to build a team to that I can trust to send out to weddings, whether it's shooting, editing, or whatever, and really giving my clients the same experience that I would give them. So it's just a matter of training that person, having that same passion, and me helping them with their vision as well. See, that's what I see as a collaboration. You're not only helping me with what I got going on, but I want to know what you got going on. How can I help you with what you got going on? And then we come together and really just help each other out. That's the kind of team I really, really want to build and having not to worry about it. So that way I can focus on my passion projects and my films and doing independent films and stuff like that.
Yeah. And if you was to try to transition today to a full-time business owner, essentially,
Hmm.
what would be the first role you would hire to prevent yourself from being on site?
As far as Well, I mean, it'll be a lead. I mean, it'll just be the first role to be a lead videographer, someone who understands audio, someone who understands angles. Because of course at weddings, we set up multiple cameras, so it'll be my lead videographer, and then I'll have a second to, help me man the other cameras during the ceremony, all that good stuff. And yeah, someone who just has.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
If I answered that question right, I'm not sure if I can answer
I
that
mean, I
question correct.
mean,
Kinda.
yeah, I mean, you did essentially. You looking for somebody that could just take over the things that you already do
Yeah,
overall. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say that makes sense because like I think a lot of people just think about hiring out. They don't think about like what the job entails and how that person's gonna have to actually succeed on the job. So it's like they might
Yeah,
just hire their
yeah.
friend or somebody they know that says been doing it for a year or two. And it's like, yeah, but you don't know what that job really entails. So you might want to make sure they actually know what they're doing. They don't just say they know what they're doing. So that
Right,
makes
right.
sense.
And just, understanding things like, especially when you're shooting, like rule of thirds and, not getting in foreground and stuff like that, those type of shots and understanding all of that concept, just things that just really make your shots better, because anybody can pick up a camera, just hold it and record, but what story are you telling with your angles and all that good stuff? That's really what I'm looking for. And if that person does not have those characteristics or that knowledge, be willing to learn, you know what I mean, and apply yourself. Like I had this one girl that basically I was showing her all these things, but when she got home, never applied any of it or practiced on any of it. And when we came back to the wedding, it was pretty much the exact same thing. You know what I mean? So just being willing to learn and dedicate that time off the field is way more important.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So what's the biggest mistake creators make when they're starting to build a team?
The biggest mistake
Yep, biggest mistakes.
is just hiring anybody, hiring your homeboy out the street, like you
Yep.
don't know anything, just because it's your partner from school. And that's like the biggest mistake. You really, when you're hiring people, I would recommend hire people that you do not know, and because the people that you don't know will respect you more than the people that you do know, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because it's like, it's like, well,
Yeah.
that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So definitely hire outside of close friends or family. Um, that have the same passion as you, and people that want to learn. You can't hire anybody. The biggest, and also hiring somebody who thinks they know it all. That's one of the biggest ones. That's gonna be a conflict in itself. It's like, bro, yeah, you good, but
Yeah.
you can't act like you can't be taught anything. Yeah.
That's facts. So let's talk a little bit before we get out of here about community. I know you had a
Okay.
chance to see the Creator Collective community. So when you
Oh, it's off the chain.
first saw it, tell us, what did you think and what made you say, you know what, this is different?
Well, I like that y'all got the store on there that creators can put up their gear, because I actually got, once I joined, I got a bunch of gear in their garage. I'm gonna be posting
Oh,
up there, but that is definitely one thing that stuck out to me, because it's like, okay, posting it on Facebook Marketplace or anywhere else, you're not gonna get that audience right away. They're just looking for gear. Here, you got everybody here that's possibly looking for some gear. So that was a plus. The fact that, well, was one other thing I saw. Do y'all do like video reviews and stuff like that? If I was to post something,
yeah.
you can get your
Yeah.
community and like-minded people
Yeah.
that actually know film that can give you some constructive
Yep.
criticism on it and all that good stuff.
Yep.
So I love that. We always need that, because our vision, we see it, we like, oh, that's dope. But just to see it through somebody else's perspective, that always helps us improve and get better. So I do love that for sure.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
if Creative Collective worked perfectly, what would it solve for you personally?
One of the other things was like when y'all post gigs and jobs, like we're not always busy every day. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
wait,
So
wait, hold on. Say that sentence one more time, because everybody be so busy to the
nah,
point where they
bro.
can't get no help. And I know for sure, I've been doing this for a minute. I know I had
Yeah.
months that thing hurt.
Exactly. So we're not busy every day, bro. You're not booked. I don't know one videographer or photographer that's booked every day, bro. So just to have that access to, different jobs posted, and, even if we need something, we can post. If I'm looking for a shooter, I can post on there and, get that. So that's definitely a plus, bro. That's definitely a plus.
Okay. And like we said, if it did work perfectly, what would actually get you to use this and be interactive on this in the community on a weekly basis? What would make you want to jump in and be interactive with it?
I'm trying to think, because y'all got it set up so good already. I would say have an app. It needs an app. It needs to
Yeah.
have its own app, kind of similar to whether it be an Instagram or whether it be, whatever the case may be, because just having that application is a lot better than, going to just the site itself.
Mhm.
So definitely work on the app. I would say if we can do that, that'll help me get on it a lot more. Because with the site, I don't know if does it give you notifications or whatnot? It does. Okay. I mean, as far as overall, bro, just if we can just get an app with that thing, we'll be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Okay. So
I agree.
last two questions. I'm gonna go ahead and ask the banger one.
Yeah.
What's one mindset shift that will instantly change and make creators collaborate more?
The mindset shift of don't feel like you collaborating with another creative is going to, one, reduce your creativity, or two, make you look any less of who you are as a person. I guess that's, if I said that right, it's just the fear of your ideas not being good enough. So you really have to overcome that mindset as well. It's like, because a lot of creatives, they don't post, they don't, pitch their ideas, or they don't, do any of that because of their own internal fear of what they're capable of. So I would say definitely believe in yourself. For one, you got to believe in yourself. You got to know, no matter what level you at, you could be just starting, but believe in yourself that you're good enough to collaborate with anyone.
Okay.
Anyone. We all bleed red. So one person is not,
Exactly.
better than you. They just put in a little more work than you did, but you can get there. So
All right. And for the creators in
yeah.
Atlanta, since you're Atlanta based, we're Atlanta based, tell our Atlanta creators, what advice would you give them when they're first trying to get their real first network? So when they're trying out there to find their first real network of people that's going to give them gigs, help them out, what's your advice to them?
Just go for it. Cause you never know, bro. I'll tell y'all a quick story. I know we're running
Yeah.
out of
No,
time,
go ahead. Go ahead.
but when I was in the music industry, bro, and I had just graduated, I didn't have any internships or anything. I was literally, this is before I was working at the car dealership. I was working next to Tree Sound Studios, which is a big studio. I mean, everybody, that Lil Wayne, everybody just got, anybody you can think of, Drake, all of them up in this studio, right? It's locked down. I literally, I don't know what I was thinking this day, bro, but a little bit down the street, I had to drive a car to a gas station that's right next to the Tree Sound. It's out in Gwinnett, by the way. And there was a little path through the trees that got the Tree Sound. My boss sent me to get gas in this car, bro. I literally saw Tree Sound. I knew it was there. I walked through the path and went and knocked on the door, bro. I didn't know what I was gonna say, what I was gonna do, but I just knew I wanted to either try to get an internship or whatever. The day I knocked on the door, that's how God worked, bro. I knocked on the door, rung the doorbell. Of course, I can't get in. She was like, "Hi, can I help you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm here." And I got stuck. And she said, "Are you here for the internship interview today?" And bro, I just was like, "Yeah." And they opened the door, bro. I know I'm not supposed to be there because I didn't sign up for nothing, anything. I literally went in there. I sat down in there. I sat in there for over an hour, bro. My boss is calling me like, "Where the hell are you at? I got to deliver this car with this gas." I ignored his calls, bro. Went through the whole interview, wrote my name down, and left. Got back in trouble with the boss. Told him I made up something. I don't even know what the hell I made him. I lie to you not, bro. 2 days later, Tree Sound called me back and said, "You got the intern, bro."
Mm,
So I was like, man, just that alone, it changed my whole perspective. Like, just go for it. Like, you're not gonna be ready, even if you think you're ready. If people see something special in you, it's gonna show through you. So don't be scared. Go for the collaboration. Reach out to the brands. Reach out to anybody, but don't not do it because you think you're not ready. And you might not be ready, but you'll find out if you're not ready. But just go for it, bro, because it's not happened to me before. Plenty of times. Ain't the only situation something happened like that, but just me jumping out and going for it, it just opened up so many doors. Because you got God with you at the end of the day, man. You don't know, he can be like
yep.
and make it happen.
Mr. Ryan Daniels, tell us where we can find you to see more of your work.
All right, cool. Y'all can see my work. Instagram for sure. At I do, like wedding I do videography Atlanta on Instagram. If you type that in Google, everything gonna pop up. TikTok, everything. Website is the same. I do videography Atlanta.com. For non-wedding stuff, hit me on Instagram at Real One Media Group, and that's REEL, like real one, the number one media group on Instagram.
Okay. Well, this is the
Yeah.
Creator Collective podcast. My name is JB. This is my partner Cody, and this is Mr. Ryan Daniels. People.
Yeah. Please appreciate y'all having me, man. Thank you so much.